Have you ever caught an HOA member breaking their own rules? When my roommates and I first moved into our townhouse community, we didn't think parking would be such a headache. Each house had a garage, but with 4 of us, we had 4 cars. The garage could only hold 1 thanks to all our sports gear, so the rest of us rotated between the limited guest spots or parked directly in front of our garage. It wasn't perfect, but other neighbors did it too, and it didn't block the street. That's when we met him. Let's call him Shitty Neighbor. One afternoon, while we were sorting boxes in the garage, he marched up and said, "You can't park there overnight. It's against community rules, and if you do it again, I'll make sure you're towed." The first part? Reasonable. We were new and honestly didn't know the rule, but the second part, the threat, the smug, "I'll be watching," that made him sound like he was on some HOA power trip. Still, we wanted peace, so we agreed and stopped parking there overnight. For a while, it worked fine. If we parked there during the day, we made sure the cars were moved before bed. But one evening, my roommate came home around 7, parked quickly in front of the garage to grab some dinner and clothes before heading to his girlfriend's place. He figured it was early enough not to matter. An hour later, his car was gone, and standing outside with a grin plastered across his face was none other than Shitty Neighbor. "Told you you'd get towed," he said, like it was the highlight of his week. My roommate couldn't get the car back until the next morning, and the towing company slapped him with an overnight fee. Total damage, $500. For us, that was a painful hit. Watching my friend get punished over something harmless lit a fire in me. I wasn't going to let this guy lord over us anymore. So, I did some digging. I pulled out the HOA handbook and started reading, and what I found was beautiful. The street in front of the garages was officially a fire lane. That meant nobody, not even the great HOA sheriff himself, was supposed to park there. Not for an hour, not for a minute, ever. Now, I worked from home, and my desk had a perfect view of Shitty Neighbor's garage. And wouldn't you know it, every day around 1 p.m., he pulled up and parked his car right there in front of his garage. He'd go inside for about an hour before leaving again. I watched this routine for 2 weeks, just to be sure. Then came Monday. At 1:10 p.m., he parked like clockwork. At 1:20, I called the towing company. By 1:40, his car was gone. 15 minutes later, he came outside, saw the empty space, and exploded in yelling at his wife before storming off to retrieve it. I couldn't stop laughing. I even sent my roommates play-by-play updates, but I wasn't done. The very next day, he did the same thing, parked in the fire lane like nothing had happened. So, I made the same call. And once again, his car disappeared. And once again, the afternoon peace was shattered by him yelling when he realized. For about 2 weeks after that, he seemed to wise up. He parked in legitimate spots during his midday visits. But people like him can't help themselves. Sure enough, one afternoon he pulled up and left his car in front of the garage again. And, like the good rule-abiding neighbor I was, I called the tow truck. Strike 3. By then, this little game had cost him over $1,000 in fees. And the best part? Dozens of other neighbors sometimes parked in front of their garages too, but their cars never vanished. Just his. After the 3rd tow, I decided to ease up, not because I didn't want to keep going, but because I felt bad for his wife. Every single time his car disappeared, she got screamed at like it was her fault. It wasn't, and I didn't want her to keep paying for his stupidity. So, in the end, the guy who tried to punish us with his knowledge of the rules learned the hard way that he didn't know them nearly as well as he thought. If he hadn't gone after my roommate in the first place, I never would have gone digging through the handbook. But once I did, it was game over. And to this day, he has no idea it was me.